remember, right, the tables were kind of sticky and dirty. They didn't necessarily have them all clean. I mean, it's not a place that you would look at and go, I'm going to go in and eat here. And yet what was presented was incredible.
What was this?
In Hawaii. So, if I was to recommend this place to you, and you drove up to it, you might think that I was a little bit off. Going, can you believe this? This has got to be some kind of joke. The pastor has recommended that I go to this place where I'm certainly going to get all kinds of neat things that I'm going to go need to see my doctor for. People were looking for majestic. People were looking for what you think of as royalty and kingship. Somebody that would have arms like this and be able to carry a great big sword and just slay thousands at a time. We love those iconic things. How many of you know where Paul Bunyan is down in the Redwoods? Have you sat on his foot? Humans love bigger than life things. They want to have some kind of a hope in that there's people out there that, if necessary, could come in just a big way and take a commanding precedence and just completely rescue you. But Paul Bunyan swinging his axe, clearing out thousands of trees in one swing. And he cut down the trees in Wisconsin in a single day. Superheroes, we like them. The Incredibles movie is coming out. Incredibles 2, that's right. We got to get that right. I fail at telling you about movies because I'm really, I don't really put a lot of focus on it. But Star Trek, yeah. It's just come out, right? Yeah. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I already did that last week. I'm convinced that Incredibles 2 is going to have just as many examples of God in it as the first one. You can see Him wherever you're looking for Him. If you don't have a preconceived idea of what that looks like. All the way down through the ages, superheroes have been a big deal. All the legends, we have many of them. Jesus didn't come and fit any of those things. If I went and applied for a TV anchorship position, they would tell me I had a face for radio, probably. Humans just see things differently. If I was to say, envision in your mind the picture of a supermodel, it might be different than what the reality ought to be. You said a supermodel represents the picture of humanity. It doesn't make sense, does it? Supermodels are people too. I'm not picking on them particularly, but we get these concepts about what things are. We have magazines, we have GQ. If I'm going to be a cool pastor, I've got to wear skinny jeans, and I got to wear whatever. It doesn't matter. I wear skinny jeans because my kids took me shopping, and you're just lucky I didn't get the yellow ones. That's how that worked. I was like, that's ridiculous. But I love my kids. It was actually, I think, Simona and Serena and Carissa took me shopping. And they're like, hey, try these on. And I'm like, these are horrible. But they look good on you, Dad. I'm like, well, whatever. Okay. So there we go. What do I know about that? couldn't tell you what fashion is trending right now. Maybe I'm out of touch.
Maybe.
Maybe. But I'm pretty sure I was born a nonconformist, so it doesn't matter either way.
Big Roman next time.
I'll be coming back with lots of band teachers that teach T-shirts that might offend you. So, because some of them have colorful metaphors in the language on them. So you may or may not care for those. But they might have really cool graphics on them. So Jesus was a nonconformist when it comes to human perception. I took my kids to a rock concert this last week. I shared this with the Bible study last night. It was awesome. It was fantastic. This band, every city they go to, they use a local orchestra. So they got the full strings. And they had a brass section, and they had the percussion section, and then they had the regular drums and the guitarist and a piano and a keyboardist and all of those things. And people's perception of this particular band is that they're evil, they're dark, they're bad. What they don't realize is the lead singer is a Christian. And that the lyrics are uplifting and positive, but because this lady that sings, she wears long dresses, sometimes they're darker in color, and she just has a presence, and they say, well, that's like Gothic or whatever. That's not the point. She's incredibly talented. Let me tell you about how they operate. No announcement. No rah, 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 we're so amazing. No colorful metaphors telling us how great we are with words that aren't necessary to do that. They step out and they start playing music. The first whole half was just the orchestra music. It was awesome. And then the rest of the band joins in. By the way, the band's name is Evanescence. And in the middle of the next portion of the concert, she stops and she's socially awkward. She doesn't know what to do with her arms. It's best when she's playing the piano, but even when she plays the piano, if you notice, she does a weird thing with this other arm because she doesn't really know what to do with it. She's socially awkward. She stops in the middle of the song and says, you know, when she was in 8th grade, she was bullied. She didn't look right. She didn't fit the mold. She didn't fit the idea that perception of humans created. And so she wrote poetry. And her poetry became lyrics to her songs. And she brings an incredible positive message all over the world now. And she was encouraging everyone there, saying, look, don't be conformed to the perceptions of what other people think about you. Is that a dark message? Is that a dark band? People will demonize things that have nothing to do with demons. Because there's a perception that happens. People would reject Jesus because he was called demon-possessed by those that should have been looking forward to him and recognizing and seeing the attributes of who he was. Because another human being says it doesn't make it true. Because you ask Google something doesn't make it true. Doesn't mean it's not either. It just doesn't mean either way. I want to be conformed by God, not by the perceptions of people. As a church, would it not be good, as the body of Christ, to be conformed by God, not conformed by people? Check out these gifts that come. This is awesome. He was despised and rejected. Kings aren't supposed to do that if they're going to win. A rejected king is a weak king. When the people are turning against the king, and the king is the enemy of the people, how kingly is that? A man of sorrows. Do you want a king that sits in the corner and cries? In such sorrow that blood comes out of his pores? And he talks to this God and says, if you can take this cup from me, man, I'd sure like that. We want a king that is going to fight battles for us. And he's going to win. He was acquainted with deepest grief. We turned our backs on him and looked the other way. He was despised. And we did not care. Check out this gift. Merry Christmas here in verse 4. Merry Christmas, verse 4. Yet it was our